What's good with everyone? This is your boy DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. What's good, family? Shout out to the New Media gang, New Media, where we're a family, we're one, we lit, like Hoop Jargon just said in the comments. So this topic will be about the Charlotte Hornets before they play the Miami Heat. Now we know that Terry Rozier, aka Scary Terry, has an ankle injury, and I hope that brother heals up quickly. This is an important game. The Hornets need to win against the Heat because they will play tougher teams than the Miami Heat, literally. And if they do not go on a winning streak before mid-February, it's going to be tough selling. So James Borrego and company have to take this road trip seriously. They have to. They got to get the lineups right. They got to reshuffle the starting lineup. As you know, the Hornets are bottom 5-10 as a team, right? In slow starts. They're in the top 5 in slow starts in the NBA. That screams roster change. So what they have to do, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan of LaMelo Ball, but to have a stronger start, they need to start LaMelo Ball. I believe that LaMelo will give Gordon Hayward some good looks. He'll get everybody involved. And for not Terry Rozier, but Devontae Graham, the good thing about him coming off the bench is that he won't have all the pressure on him. He could just play his game. And I bet you one thing, if Devontae Graham comes off the bench, he'll play well. I guarantee it. So what do you think about that, Brother Rev?
Shout out to New Media. Shout out to my brother Hoop Jargon in the building. Shout out to DJ's Raw Uncut Truth. Shout out to the whole chat. Y'all already know what it is. We're going in tonight once again. The question is going to be what they're going to do. They weren't expecting to win the 2 games that they just won. Indiana Pacers back-to-back. Indiana Pacers, then the Milwaukee Bucks back-to-back. I think if there was ever a time to make this move, where it's clear that this is the time to make the move, it's now. Because you're about to go play a lot of teams that no one's expecting you to win. And you got a chance to hit them with something that they don't have on tape already, which is LaMelo Ball working with the starter unit, the new rotations, Malik Monk. Charlotte is in a privileged position to do something that most teams don't get a chance to do. I saw the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They inserted Anthony Edwards into the starting lineup. And because they did that, it was so much firepower in that starting lineup that the Cleveland Cavs weren't ready for it. So I'm interested to see if James Borrego is going to use this as an opportunity to start LaMelo. Don't give me the Malik Monk thing, because the other night when Terry got hurt, instead of inserting Malik Monk, who was already scorching hot in the second half, they inserted LaMelo Ball. So that means their rotation in their lineup would have LaMelo starting next game. They would have to go out of their way to break their own rotation that he so often talks about, to put Miles over Melo. Not Miles, but Malik over Melo. So I'm interested to see it, but I'm going to pass it to my brother, Hoop Jargon.
Well, in sports, there's a certain phrase called ride the wave. We have just approached the 20-game mark, and as I told y'all to watch those 10-game intervals. And, Borrego got he got a alley-oop, not in a good way, but you don't have an excuse at this point, with Scary Terry being out. It's kind of like the stars aligning, and it sucks, man. It happens like this. When Tom Brady got his opportunity, Drew Bledsoe went down, man. It's just the nature of the business, the nature of the game. And as far as the metrics, as far as the obvious part, it's kind of a no-brainer to start LaMelo. So I'm very optimistic that in the next coming, games, hopefully this next one, our boy be starting. I mean, you're sitting at the 8th seed right now. I mean, let's be real. You're 2 games out of the damn 4th seed. Now, I know when it all shake out, what happened?
No, I was just saying, right.
Yeah, so when it all shake out, you're not going to be above Boston. You're not going to be above Milwaukee. You're not going to be above the Nets. You're not going to be above Philly. But, man, that 5 through 8, man, it's going to flux, as we know that the East always does, man. So this is your opportunity to kind of, in a year where you thought you probably wouldn't have an opportunity, it's there because this kid is more prepared than you probably thought as far as your early prognostications or what have you. So I just don't see a real reason why you don't insert him in, especially on this hot streak he's beyond, and not even from a starting position, man. You know what I mean? And so, again, we look at a game 2 games ago, he had like the 8th most minutes or some shit like that, which is kind of, you don't see that a lot from a number 3 pick. So I just think it's so much opportunity that you can do, and it's so much at stake because you actually have a playoff-worthy roster right now. And so you just got to make the move, man, and just see what you got.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Drop the Mic. He says LaMelo's something special, man. I definitely see him being great. New media, Drop the Mic. Shout out to Drop the Mic. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He will be making videos in the near future. Also, the GOAT, he been wanted to ask this, wanted me to answer this question. He said, DJ, if Rozier is playing, then what? LaMelo will got to come off the bench unless JB mans up and since ground, right? Yeah, I think he's even above JB. We all know JB loves his Tay Day. That's obvious. But I also think that Mitch Kupchak is probably, behind the scenes with it as well. I think that he's still on this earning stage. LaMelo got to earn this. LaMelo got to do this. And we see the talent that LaMelo possesses. If the Hornets want to win, if they want to be a team that can rise above their despair history, they got to do some different shit. They got to start LaMelo Ball. They got to get him involved. Not just start LaMelo Ball, but get him involved. Let's say, hypothetically, and I don't think this is going to happen. I warned you all that don't be surprised if Terry Rozier cannot go against the Miami Heat. Malik Monk will start. I said it before everybody. Don't be surprised. If they do that, it's going to cause a firestorm. You just see what LaMelo did against the Bucks, and you know how talented the Bucks are. And to not start LaMelo Ball will cause a serious media wave. You just saw Kendrick Perkins, of all people, get on the coach, call him egotistical pretty much. So they're catching on. But let's say that James Borrego plays LaMelo Ball. Is he going to play LaMelo Ball to his strengths, or are they going to use him like a role player that's starting? Because what I envision LaMelo Ball to be when he starts, I want him to get the keys, to organize the offense, to be a catalyst for the Hornets. So let's say they do that, and let's say that Terry Rozier comes back from his injury. Here's what I want to see. I want to see Terry Rozier starting. I want to see LaMelo start. I wish Miles Bridges could start, but I don't know if this coach is too creative on their rosters. This is what I want to see. Will they do it? Time will tell.
When I think of it, and I think of what your brother said, thank you for providing that knowledge, both you and Hoop Jargon. I think to myself, for an organization that's trying to slow burn a guy and bring him in slowly, this is really their worst nightmare, honestly, because
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, once Melo starts, you can't not start him anymore. So when Terry comes back, if you're trying to ship Terry and you don't want to bench Devontae, but you're going to put Melo on the bench after potentially another big game, like they're just stumbling over themselves into wins at this point. So it's like the problem with starting Malik Monk, DJ, is Malik Monk's a wild card. You know, the brother, he has some issues, and I'm not with joking about that at all. That's not funny. And I hope the brother makes it through his issues. But the brother has some issues that even when he doesn't have issues, he's a very inconsistent player. He's a streaky player. So you can't reward that with starting him. That makes no sense. And if you do start him and he goes off, then are you gonna bench him for Terry? Like they're in a situation. They are in a situation. And I tend to agree with you. I feel like it's coming from higher up than James Borrego. I really do. You were saying if he started him getting the keys. I don't see that happening right now. That'll happen once the starters start to acquiesce to LaMelo. Now they got a saying in football. I'm not gonna say it on here because this is a family channel. But when situations get tight, certain body parts get tight. And I saw in that fourth quarter, it was certain players on that Charlotte Hornets roster that want nothing to do with Giannis and them Bucks down the stretch. Melo had to make some crucial plays. I say that to say this. When your rookie is doing stuff like that, you're going to see more and more people on the starting lineup start to acquiesce to him in big moments. I've already seen it with Miles Bridges. I've already seen it with some of the bench guys. I see it with Terry Rozier. I see it with certain players at certain times. Once he earns the respects of the starters, that's when you'll see that. DJ, if he's out there, because Gordon Hayward can't really facilitate, or when the pressure is on defensively, he can't really create off the dribble alone. Naturally, LaMelo's going to be that guy. But starting off, I don't know if I see James Borrego being revolutionary enough and smart enough to hand him the keys off jump with this slow burn organization.
You know what? Before I let Hoop Jargon spit some real, you know what? James Borrego got to do?
What's that?
Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Start LaMelo. I don't check his ego. Start LaMelo. Do the right thing. That's all I got to say, man. And that's the theme of the show. James Borrego, check your pride, check your fears, and do the right thing. Give LaMelo the keys. He's deserved it. The Hornets do not have a true process. They're not a team of history of winning. They don't have a culture. And they're very close to being in the hunt of the playoffs. But you can't get that if you're lollygagging, trying to be emotional. What I always say on my show, logic over emotion. So what JB got to do is check the emotion, operate off logic, say, hey, the first quarters have been crappy. The starting guards have not been consistent. Every time I watch a Hornets game, and Rev, you could correct me, they're always behind in the first quarter. Every time.
95% of the time, no doubt.
And what do LaMelo and Miles Bridges got to do? They always have to dig them out of the hole. And shout out to AB the Hero. Every single time. Everybody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Every game, it seems like 95% of the time. There was probably 2 games, if that, probably 1, that the starters had a good amount of a comfortability of a lead in the first quarter. Other than that, they've been trash in that quarter.
And that's a great point, DJ. You know what this team reminds me of? The Clippers of 2 years ago. When you had
that's real.
You know what I mean? And the crux of it is that's an AC team. And they're a dangerous 8 seed on the right night, in the right situation, with the moon lined up with the stars and the coyotes out and all that. You feel me? That's a great point. So when you got that type of energy, it's like you get to the fork in the road, man. It's like, what you want to do? You want to be that type of scrappy team that's going to stay and fight and blah, 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 blah. Or do you see that you have a talent? You know, and I would compare LaMelo's role to kind of how Lou Wills is, like a guy who could start, you know, who can light you up in any night, but the coach is just a little uncertain, you know, at the current juncture, if that needs to be my starter guard or what have you. So, but the difference is Lou Williams, we knew who he was a long time ago. LaMelo, you know, obviously he's a rookie. Obviously, you got a lot of way to go. So that's on James Borrego's plate. And I saw again some of y'all chatting James Borrego a hater. I promise y'all that that's not the case. And like DJ said, his orders come from above him. So y'all got to understand this, man. Like, so this ain't just, you know, Borrego just spitting his, you know, got his own little hands on everything. That's not how it goes. But again, we're talking about a fringe playoff team right now. And like you said, man, Rev, you don't really have an excuse at this point. If Rozier ain't playing, it's scary Terry out. Like you kind of you're stuck. And you got to give it. Now, I will say this. I'm going to put my warm take Walter hat on. Now, there's no fans in the gym right now, so you ain't got like the, you know, when the fans turn on you and they start booing and it's like influence. I've seen that shit in person. Ain't nothing like the fans turn on you and you start sweating 3 times harder than you usually do. So right now you got this, you know, artificial thing going on, and you're only getting really pressed on after the game. But ain't nothing like doing that game when your mind is thinking and your assistant coach is looking at you like, shit, you might need to do it. So that may, you know, retard the process, which means slow it down with LaMelo starting. But I promise you, if bodies were in that gym and them boo birds were out, you would see a lot more pressure for LaMelo to start, man. But like, again, let's bring it all back to a head. Hopefully JB do the right thing, man. And you got a streaking guy who you spent that much draft stock on. I mean, how has he not shown he shouldn't be in that fray, man? Again, the 20 game evaluation mark. So I'm looking forward for that brother to step out there, because I know he gonna give, and like again, DJ saying, he got the respect of the stars. I promise you, LaMelo Ball has respect of them starters. You better believe that. So it just comes to a time where you gotta let the young just unleash them, man. And so I think we're at that evaluation point, but we will see going forward.
They threw Anthony Edwards in that starting lineup tonight, and Anthony Edwards was straight dog food. You know, and you talk about it a lot, hoop jargon. People reading off of other people's notes. You know, this is a weird year, and I said at the beginning of the year, man, in these weird years and lockout years, you can't underestimate these rookies, man. Like I remember, like I bring up a lot, 2011 draft class, NFL. There's going to be so many Hall of Famers in that draft class, and they really didn't even get a training camp. Oh, I see AB is pulled up, so I'm gonna let the brother cook.
Hey, busy.
You there, AB?
Yeah, I'm there. My fault, man. I still had the YouTube playing in the background. My bad. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. Let me get my stuff set up, man. Y'all keep talking. Hold
on. All right.
Well, I got that Boost Mobile.
Let me read this. The GOAT says, DJ, let me ask you, if not tomorrow, when do you see him actually man up and make that transition for LaMelo to take over Graham in that starting lineup? Here's the thing, man. You don't know what the intention of the Hornets are. Would it surprise me if LaMelo would not start the whole year? It would not surprise me at all. This game against the Heat, if Terry Rozier doesn't play, it's going to tell us everything we need to know for the rest of the year. If LaMelo does not start tomorrow, he will never start ever this year. That's just the way I see it, man.
That's facts, DJ. If not now, really when. You know what I'm saying? If not now, really when. Like I'm trying to spin my own narratives in my head to how you could even play it or justify it. Only thing I can think of them saying is Melo doesn't play the two, and Malik Monk does so because of the position. But then that makes you hypocritical because you say his position is basketball, so that doesn't make sense. Like there's no argument. You started him in the second half. You didn't start Malik Monk. It's just that, like I said, that team is a PR nightmare. I don't care what anybody says. Whoever is over their PR department, they really need an upgrade because the team is a PR nightmare. And what it is, they're not used to having a guy as big as LaMelo. They're not used to that. They're not used to these questions. They're not used to him being this good, this quick. And they had no preparation or planning. They thought to themselves, he's a rookie, he's a wild card. We're going to be able to groom him and grow him on our speed. And to answer my brother Raiders question, the GOAT, I don't think Graham's the one going to the bench. I get no indications from this organization that Graham is going to the bench. If somebody goes to the bench, I'm thinking it's going to be Scary Terry.
Yo, all right, you hear me now? We good to go?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. I had to put my headset in. I hear you, man. You say you think they're gonna send Terry to the bench. I feel like what Hoop Jargon said earlier is gives them a lot of freedom. The fact that the fans not in the stands, you know what I'm saying? So like if folks were there, I see it even in my comments from folks would be like, I'm a Hornets fan, and if we was in the building, we would have already been booing Borrego, right? I feel like that's one of the biggest things. They could block out all of this stuff. Borrego could not tune in to all of the online criticism and all of that. But if they had them fans in there letting their voices be heard, Melo probably, if not been starting, he'd be damn near playing starters minutes. They'd be booing every time he pull him out in the fourth quarter. But I think it's tough, man. I feel like what they were hoping was Devontae Graham was going to come back and have the season that Terry Rozier was having early on, right? If they were playing equally, then I felt like the trading Terry and throwing Melo in there would be the ultimate goal for that anyway, with the way their contracts and all of that stuff set up. And I think because of that, also like there's no way to me that they cannot play Melo tomorrow in that starting lineup if Terry not playing. Like if the media gotta kill him, they own newspaper. Now that's gonna hit everybody, the Rich Bonnell, every media outlet in Charlotte gonna be blasting they you know what I mean, them dudes if they don't start Melo. So I can't imagine a scenario where that don't happen. But I think that Terry Rozier is playing too good for him to be the one that get benched. I think that if Melo get into that starting lineup and hoop the way that we know that they're gonna hoop, it's gonna force their hand to push the trade button. You can't send Terry Rozier to the bench and still like have a cohesive unit and players on that team who believe in you when everybody who got eyes know that Melo, Terry, Hayward, the way Cody Zeller, maybe PJ, that should be your starting lineup. And like somebody else was saying earlier, and Miles Bridges should be in the starting lineup to be 1,000 with you. But you know, we can kind of understand how you might need to slow play that. You know, he can give you an extra spark or whatever. But yeah, that if my dog Borrego don't start LaMelo tomorrow, even though it's coming from up top, he is putting himself in the line of fire. He like is about to be put in a situation where he not gonna make the call. They gonna miss the playoffs. They gonna do all of this stuff, and he gonna be the first person to go. And when he gonna be at home telling all his friends, "Well, damn, I would have played Melo, but Jordan was saying no.
Yep.
Kupchak was saying no." And it's gonna be his fault. He should put his foot down because they're not gonna fire him if he play Melo and they do good. Then they're gonna look stupid. But if they don't play Melo and they lose, he gonna take all of the brunt of the blame.
AB, James Borrego is a substitute teacher, man. He the teacher that when you come to school and you see him there, you're like, oh, I know it, yo, it's gonna be lit today. That's who he is. Like, he doesn't even, when they're talking about the team, to get the law and order about the team, you look to Mitch Kupchak. I was looking at the interview on your channel the other day with Mitch Kupchak, and Mitch Kupchak essentially says at the time, in a nice way, that LaMelo's another piece. You know what I'm saying? And going back to draft night, the way he was talking about him earning the minutes, James Borrego just doesn't seem like he has a lot of control. And shout out to our brother Raphael from 3-Point Conversion, who's alluded to some of these things within the organization, how when they ask certain questions, James doesn't seem confident. And, he says things like, well, you have to ask Mitch because I don't know what's going on. He's a substitute teacher, man. So, and I just wanted to say something in regards to the Terry Rozier situation. I think the trade button has been up for Terry since the summer. I think if they could have moved him, they would have moved him for whatever they're asking back. I think it'll be more generous. But I just, even during the games now, when Terry wasn't hurt, Devontae gets more minutes. Terry sits longer. He sits in longer spurts. It seems like in clutch moments, Devontae Graham and Gordon Hayward are the two guys they go to. I just don't see them. I can't see a way that James Borrego benches Devontae Graham. I just don't see it. I hope y'all are right, but I don't see that right now.
Yeah, I don't see it either. And the thing with this team, we living in the day and age of analytics and processing information. It seems like this team never does that. The Hornets are 7-2 right now when LaMelo plays above 25 minutes, as well as Miles Bridges. They could have been 9-0 if LaMelo would have played the rest of the fourth quarters. Is James Borrego really paying attention at analytics, or is he just too prideful to let LaMelo cook? See, when LaMelo's out there having fun, when he's in the flow, he's a rhythm player. So when he's in the flow, good things happen. Even if he has some turnovers, which I would like him to clean up at times, or he may take a shot that was questionable, he'll eventually get in the flow. The team starts to push the pace. He gets steals. He gets on the break. Good things happen when you do that. When I watch Devontae Graham play, he stops transition. He's an undersized guard. They say he's 6'1". Shoot, he's 6'11". The coach has to put the team in a zone constantly because they got miniature guards. And as for Terry Rozier, the reason why nobody criticizes Terry Rozier is because he's been balling this season. And he's been a good teammate to LaMelo. You don't see Terry Rozier ignoring LaMelo when he's open. You don't see Terry Rozier making boneheaded plays to show up a teammate. You never see that. So if they trade Terry Rozier, they better trade Devontae with him. If it was me, I wouldn't trade Terry Rozier. I like the chemistry he has with LaMelo. But if they trade Terry Rozier, I don't want to see Devontae still on this team. I have nothing against Devontae Graham. He was a great player at Kansas. But for LaMelo's future, I want LaMelo to be around players who fit with his game. Miles Bridges does that. And you could kind of see Malik Monk being a fit because Malik Monk does something I want players on this team to do. Malik Monk knows how to cut. And you see he had 18 points off cutting to the basket.
Well, let me say this. I I definitely understand that sentiment, DJ. The way I see it is, you got a guy like Terry Rozier. Let's be honest, his name is bigger than Devontae Graham. So if you're gonna trade one of the two, you obviously gonna trade the one you get more assets for. So that's probably gonna attribute to that happening. I look at a guy like Devontae Graham. He's pretty much the birth child of this AAU era, cone drill, heavy. Now he is leading the
God
team in
damn.
assists. Go ahead.
I said, God damn, who jargon?
Boy, all I see is cone drills, dog. When I see that young man out there, man. So that's just facts. You know what I mean? And those kind of guys ain't man. Let me just let y'all know, man. Now, I was just going to allude to, I think the brother's leading in assists per game. You know, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So on paper, he dishing the rock, but it's just some dudes just ball stoppers, man. And let me give a reference to Russell Westbrook, averaging a triple-double, but you know how if you play basketball at any level, man, you know it's a certain thing from getting a pass from a Tony Parker type who gonna get a ball up early and a guy that's gonna hold it forever and then give it to you. So we call those hero assists. So we gotta understand that all assists ain't created equal. So I just think when you got a guy, I'm sorry, Terry Rozier, as far as the open market, as far as getting value for him, you probably would do yourself a better favor of moving him, even though he has better synergy with LaMelo, and kind of just hope the youngins, you know, I think what Devontae's 25, so you will hope that the youngins kind of get together and produce more synergy, you know, at a higher clip. But I just think it's tough, man. I do not like an off guard who's under, you know me. I'm gonna stay consistent with that. I don't like small off guards because to me, you show me where there's one, I'll wait. Anybody can tell me where you win with two small off guards in the backcourt? It doesn't work. So, I mean, let's go back to the Lou Williams reference. That's why he doesn't start, even though he got everybody know Lou Williams got that bag. That's why let's look at Monte Ellis before him. Like there are a lot of guys like that, but you're not gonna win with an off guard 6'1", 6'2". So I mean, and I'm like, you know, let me double back. I'm talking, and DJ, I agree with you. I hope they get rid of both. And get a more traditional looking lineup out there, man, because that's what's gonna get them to that next level. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. That's a lot of turnover at a very, you know, at two positions that do a lot of offensive work, quote unquote. So I don't know, man. It's just, you know, we'll see how much influence Borrego has, and you know what's he getting from Mitch. You know how Mitch is, man. They brought Mitch in for a reason. Obviously, formerly with the LA Lakers, he has a lot of cachet in that front office, just like akin to like Daryl Morey did for Houston. Everybody's blaming Mike D'Antoni. I told people all the time, like, no, it's Daryl Morey. And Kevin McHale told us that when he coached. You know, we talking about a legendary player saying, damn, I can't do nothing because the front office is handcuffing me. So we'll see how it shakes out as time goes. But, I mean, it's important for new media and folks like us to stay on their heads so we'll know who really in charge of what, so we can know who foot to hold to the fire as the season progresses.
Yeah, man, I agree. Like I was saying, I believe 100% the front office is holding him at gunpoint, right? But some things that I want to say is when the other night when Miles Bridges went off on the coach, he's like, "Yo, we gotta get out of this zone," right? And they got up out of the zone. Borrego, and they won the game. Borrego, they telling him to do one thing, and he got to have one of the moments where he grows some balls and then put his fist down and be like, "Yo, y'all trying to win or y'all trying to tank," right? And he got to be more vocal. And if he does that and holds up and, like, you know what I'm saying, speaks up a bit, and he'll start to see the fans and everybody will see a different result, right? They'll give him he'll have an opportunity to make those changes. Right now, he just going with the flow and thinking that that's going to save his job. But we see that for every coach who just go with the flow like that and you lose, you are the one who gets kicked out once the stuff hit the fan. Another thing too, man, I was watching this clip from it's your boy Gilbert Arenas, right? And he talked about him, and it was John Lucas III, and they talked about playing with guys who will maybe not shoot the ball because if they're not wide open because they're worried about percentages. Or the one guy was saying that he was a plus minus guy, so he knew that if he got in the game, he had to get his plus minus right in order to get the next contract. Another dude knew that he could take only 6 shots, but he needed to make 3, so he'd be shooting 50% from the field in order to get that next contract once. And then they would say, you know, he only taking 6 shots. If he took 12, he'd be giving us, you know what I'm saying, 13, 14 points a night type of vibe. So I say that to say, when people mention the fact that like Devontae Graham looking off of Melo or these other folks, like it's not a far fetched idea to assume, right? Because I hear it all the time. It sounds like a conspiracy theory, right? But truthfully, in like hoop jargon always does, when you get very like this is just the way basketball works. A lot of this stuff is just the way that basketball works, and that's the sad part is that you end up trading W's, you end up trading guys' careers for just the way that basketball works when everybody and their mama could see that if you just cut to the basket and maybe took a more difficult shot, it might affect your shooting percentage a bit, but it'll be better for the team. If my man Melo kick it to you and you wide open in transition, instead of pump faking and then kicking it off again because you don't want to shoot a three, what we seen earlier this season, Devontae Graham was struggling. That's why his assists are up so high because he wasn't making no shots. So he started dishing, passing the ball a ton. And you started to see him trying to figure out how to add value to himself because he in the contract year. I know that y'all talked about it before where your boy James Borrego mentioned the fact that he talked to Devontae before the season about being in a contract year and they're going to try to work with him and do all of these things. But one of the things that I want to say, and I know that somebody got some questions in the chat that we're going to get to in a second, but what is the, and hoop jargon or y'all might know better than me, but I was thinking about this the other day. I could see them trying to build Devontae up for a sign and trade at some point. Like how would that work? Is that something that would be possible? So like they're playing him a ton of minutes, and to me, it's so funny that they're trying to build Devontae Graham up by playing him a lot, but then also they're trying to build LaMelo up by bringing him off the bench, and slow playing, as you would say. So one guy they throwing in the fire to kind of get his experience and kind of get his stock up. Another guy they holding back to do the same thing. But what's the likelihood of, let's say, Devontae Graham start hooping? We realize that we got to get rid of him. We're not going to get no value for him with how much money he's making right now. We re-sign him, you know what I'm saying, and then go get the trade. Is that something that has to happen to the offseason, or is that something we could see, like, you know what I'm saying, before the trade deadline?
I heard that on another channel. My bad, Hoop Jargon. I'm gonna pass it right to you. I heard that on another channel. Who the hell gonna do a straight up sign and trade for Devontae Graham? Who doing that? That's what I was asking the night where that question came out. Like, who trading a starting shooting guard for Devontae Graham? That's the problem. So you're gonna have to accept the guy off of the bench. And does that really help you, especially if you're trying to get rid of Rozier? I want to curse, to be real with you, but it's really a dumpster fire. I feel like they were showcasing him, and Bobby Marks said as well, because they was trying to be a loyal franchise and get the guy paid. That's why they kept starting him. He's over his starter points now where he needed to, be eligible for a certain level contract. But the problem with the sign and trade in the summer, who is going usually sign and trades are straight up. Okay, sign him. We're going to trade this guy for this guy. But I've been going through my head over and over and saying, what starting shooting guard would you trade for Devontae Graham? And I just can't think of anyone. Maybe Hoop Jargon knows someone that you could trade a straight up starter for him. I don't know though. Hoop Jargon?
That's a great question, because you obviously have to go with somebody who has some, a new age type of point guard. Shooting guard who can play in this system. A guy that pops in my head is actually a cat that played at Kansas as well. Plays for the Rockets. What's his name? Ben McLemore. I think he could work out with what they're doing if you're going to transition LaMelo to start. A little bit of size or what have you. But that's just one name I just thought of once you challenged me. But you give me some more time, I can probably think. But what you'll find with these front offices, man, they're very shrewd, man. So they playing one game within a game, within a game, within a game. So they're always trying to see what they can get based on how the results shake out, based on who's looking for what, based on what they can negotiate, right? So let's look at, man, to answer your question more intricately. Let's say they stay on this path and they are a playoff bound team. The stock goes way up for Devontae Graham, who is a cog in the cogwheel for a successful team. So a team will overpay, a la Gordon Hayward getting overpaid from a successful Boston Celtics team over to Charlotte, right? Let's just say they fall dumpster fire down the dumps. Obviously, his stock drops, and you don't have the same. You can't demand the same for the asset. So I think that they are hedging their situation with, kind of slow burning Melo and fast tracking Devontae, just to kind of see what the market is talking about, and while the same time is going on, to see what the team is really going to do with the current formula. The way I perceive it now, hell, I'm guessing just like everybody else in this panel, but I do know that these dudes operate on a very shrewd level. So that's why I said that, like, the ace in the hole is get rid of Terry Rozier, because he has the resume that stands on his own. But we shall see, man. It's a crazy game to watch, man. Because I just want to iterate to the chat, man. This is an entertainment league. At the end of the day, yes, they want to win, but obviously 1 out of 30 teams gonna win every year. So you got to sell tickets, you got to sell merch, you got to sell the experience overall. So it's a lot to keep your head on the swivel, man. And so I just encourage y'all just to peep all the variables, man, because it's very interesting to check out once you look at it from that level.
Well, hoop jargon, organizations could be shrewd and even crude, but I don't think anybody checking for Graham. I mean, they're barely checking for Terry Rozier.
I think AJ's point about McLemore, that's solid.
I like that one.
I don't consider McLemore a starter. He ain't going for no damn starter, bro. You'll get fired in the front office for doing that. That don't make no damn sense.
Well, let me say this though. McLemore was a throwaway player when the Rockets brought him in. He turned around to be a cog in that cogwheel. Daniel House was a throwaway player when they got him. I think they picked him up because him and what's that bald-headed dude play for my Lakers? What's my man's bald-headed with the house, white dude?
Oh, Caruso.
Him and him, they played together at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So Daniel House was a guy that was not going to be a guy. So you can, if it fits your mold, you can turn them into something that's usable. Let me just say that.
The problem is those guys are 6'2" and up. Devontae Graham's 5'11". I was on Twitter tonight, and Isaiah Thomas is up there talking about some patiently waiting. Yeah, you're going to keep waiting because you're undersized. and the league does not want undersized guys who's always a liability on the defensive end. So whoever's selling that bullshit, they need to stop, bro. Like, that's not going to happen. You're going to get rid of Devontae Graham if you package him with Miles Bridges, if you package him with P.J. Washington. I'm sure the night that they drafted Melo, calls were going. I know for a fact about Terry Rozier. If they're struggling to move Terry Rozier for the amount they want to move Terry Rozier for, bro, they're going to have a nightmare with Devontae. But this is what I'm thinking. Either Miles, I'm with DKM because DKM was the first one to say this. Either Miles Bridges or P.J. Washington are not going to be here next year. They're going to have to package Devontae with someone to sweeten the deal because you'll lose your job as a front office person if you trade a legitimate starter just with size at the 2 position, or somebody said a big. I'm not trading no starting big for Devontae Graham. Like somebody said in the chat, it's a lot of Devontae Grahams in the NBA. It's a lot of Devontae Grahams in the G League. That's why he was in the G League. Like you said, cone guys. They know how to shoot. They shoot a decent 3-point percentage, but they're missing everything else. And I wanted to say something about those assists. If you watch Devontae Graham, Hooper Jargon, you're absolutely right. AB, you're absolutely right. And sometimes Chris Paul gets a bad rap on this as well, and I don't believe it's true for Chris Paul. Devontae Graham wanted to be more of a playmaker this year because the emphasis on the Charlotte Hornets offseason was they drafted LaMelo so that they could have a playmaker or have more playmakers because they had the slowest pace in the league. Devontae Graham is going out of his way to really facilitate. But like Hoop Jargon said, all facilitation is not the same. A lot of times it's leading to turnovers. A lot of times they're saying that the Charlotte Hornets have their pace is going down and down. And the reason why, if you study their game, when Devontae Graham was on the court, a lot of times the shot clock is getting dwindled down to 2 seconds because the ball spends so much time in his hands that, you know what I'm saying, is milking the clock. So, and I hate to sound like I'm ragging on Devontae. I'm not the tallest dude in the world myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't 5'11". But with that being said, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, at best, he is a spark role player on an average team that comes off the bench. Some nights he can give you 20, some nights he can give you 15. So like Who Jargon said, man, I really just want to see the Charlotte Hornets get a respectable looking lineup. And then the problem even further is Malik Monk. They trying to trade him too. That's another guard they trying to get out of there.
Trade him.
Man, I don't know what the hell going on.
I think that the package, the Devontae Graham, Malik Monk package would have. I can't see them trading Miles Bridges next year. PJ Washington, Bismack Biyombo. You go down the roster, they got some young boys who big, so they need to kind of develop and bring there. I could see them moving them up, maybe moving away from Cody and doing some other things. But Miles Bridges got to be untouchable. Melo, Miles, and maybe Gordon Hayward going into next year is your 3 untouchable guys, and you willing to them their mortgage and sell the whole farm on everybody else. I will say now, Devontae Graham, he wasn't he? He was a guy who last year folks were saying he was probably should have been an MIP last season. He was up for that. You know what I mean? So coming into this season, he was expecting to have a breakout year, which is why I feel like they were like, yo, bro, we need you to get this going. And part of their master plan, if it was to move him or not, was hoping that he would develop into something special, and it just hasn't happened. You know what I mean? So a lot of like, you know, our Devontae Graham, you need to play better is because he's not living up to the hype of what he had last year. And like you were saying, Rev, if he a 15 to 20 point a night guy, that would be a nice addition on the squad. The problem is that we wasn't even getting that from him for a while this season, and they was trying to force it down our throat. You feel me? But so it will be interesting. And I know my man got this question up here about the who would the Heat want to shut down in order to get a W tomorrow, and I think that is an interesting question because, you know, I feel like obvious answer would be Melo, but I think that he's such a facilitator that, you know what I mean, he gonna get his regardless. We seen that the other night. He getting steals and the fast break and doing all of that stuff. So it's probably got to be Gordon Hayward or somebody like that, is from what I would say.
Bro, Maurice Hammer's comment got me rolling. He said LaMelo ain't got no mentor. He ain't got no mentor.
He really don't. Jermaine Jackson.
Hey, you talking about on the
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Jermaine Jackson is his only mentor. He ain't got none on the roster. Yeah.
And guess who we got in the house, man? Y'all already know who it is, man.
Yeah.
Man, man.
Pull up.
Man,
I got to tell you something. Back in my day, let me show you.
That skincare thing.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Want to try something new?
Can you hear me?
We hear y'all.
Yep, we hear you.
All right, hey, good. Hey, look here. Hey, B, welcome to the show, man. Look here. Hey, man, look here, new media in the house, man. Look here, we ask questions like that question you just asked too. I got the answer if you're ready to hear it, brother. If you ain't ready to hear it, I'm telling you, I don't know what to tell you. I can feed you bull like the rest of the panel is feed you bull. I tell you what you need to hear. You want to hear it?
Look here.
Hello?
Yo, we're here.
Yeah, we want to hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
We looking here, huh? Go ahead.
Look here. Look, man, AB. Man, look here. I follow you, bro. Look here. I thought you had a lot of knowledge. Why would you ask a stupid question like that? They need to get Zoe out there, man, so he can help his brother, help him do the things they're supposed to be doing and getting it in the right order. Jordan can do that. It ain't gonna be nothing getting that contract off. Both of them got rookie contracts, and not only just get Lonzo there, get JaVale McGee there too. That'll take care of the rim situation. That'll take care of that front court situation.
Hey,
Jordan got too much money, too much pull not to get that done. So like we all know, they got to make a change. Now, where that change is going to come from? Why not get Zoe that, man? Zoe ain't no 5'11", man. And I don't know. See, look here. I've been preaching to these brothers for a long time, and they still ain't caught it yet. I don't know why they didn't tell you the answer to this. Ballfax came on yesterday, man, and picked it up just like that. Hey, B, I know you got sense, man. Don't ask stupid questions, bro. Don't ask stupid questions, bro. Zoe man. Get Zoe man. He's a walking triple-double. He's just like his brother. And look here, AB. I made a statement last night, you know what I'm saying? And it might have tickled a couple of people's fancy. But Lonzo is just as good as Melo is right now. And he know the game. He know the NBA game. He know the ins and out of it. Everybody know his weaknesses. His fading away from the court, fading away from the free throws. Everybody know that. But you ain't got too many weaknesses, man. Put him on that front team, man. Give him Tepe's job. Tepe's job. Give him the key. Said, look here, you got to turn it over to your brother. You know this is car, right? Yeah, we're gonna turn it over to him. Get him right. Hey, simple. Why ask AB? Why ask stupid questions, man? Man, look here, and it's in the process now. Why? It got to be in the process now because they got to get him over there now because Lonzo's going to turn the free agent in a minute. He can go where he wants to, and it might not be out there with his brother, and then they'll lose sight on that. And that game, and actually pick them up, they can get them to that 500 and better spot. If they want to get there, they might not want to get there. So that goes along with what y'all saying anyway. That won't fit. Lonzo won't fit into their program because they're not trying to go there because they ain't trying to up tempo like they claim to be trying to up tempo.
And Uncle Vern, like the legend CJ said, the best panel on YouTube. We're the most electrifying YouTube channels, content creators on the planet. Yeah, I said it.
I think so. Yeah. Hey, new media in the house, man.
Say it again, on
new media in the house, man. Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, B man, for real, man. I don't understand, man. We need to be putting more pressure. I ain't gonna say you. We need to be putting more pressure on these people, man, about what's going on out there in North Carolina, man.
Damn, Unc. You came with the fire today, man.
Man,
fire.
I'm serious, man. I got a chance to talk to Duke, man. Duke know, you know what I'm saying? He already knows. Look here, man. He can put it up on his record, man. He know, hey, this North Carolina, what's going on out there, man? Hey, ain't been nothing going out there for a long time. They've been dodging motherfuckers. They've been putting motherfuckers to sleep out there. And look, AB, I ask you this. If not Alonzo, then who else?
No, you know what, man? I agree. I would love to see Lonzo over there. I think that there are certain people who believe that Lonzo and Melo have such a similar game that it would not work. But I think that every time you listen to LaMelo talk about where his game comes from, he says that, man, we've been playing like this way since we were kids. And so he's been playing with Lonzo since he was a kid. And what I've realized about Melo's game that may be different than Lonzo is Melo has always played that off guard on teams where he played with Melo, with Zoe. So he has a switch that he could flip to just be a complete scorer. So right now he in facilitation mode, probably too much at times. The last couple of games we done seen him turn on and attack the basket a bit more. But I think that if you put Zoe on that team, you'll see maybe Melo's assists go down just a little bit, but his points, he might be a 20 to 30 point scorer with Zoe on the squad. You heard it here first.
Okay, I heard. Okay, now I want you to hear this right here. I want you to hear this right here. Look here. Okay, there ain't gonna be no problem with Melo and Zoe. That ain't gonna be no problem at all. It ain't gonna do nothing but up the tempo because Lonzo already used to playing in the NBA and playing with stronger guards than just Melo. So that won't be no problem because he's a facilitator just as Melo is. That ain't gonna be no problem. Rozier could be there. That won't be no problem because he'd be there. The other shooting guard, they would still be there in the same thing. The point guards are gonna be taken up by Melo. Even Rozier can go to that point guard. That's even sweeter. So all that's faded. Everything is faded on that. It ain't gonna be no dig. Okay, go ahead.
Quick question. If hypothetically Lonzo's with the Hornets, who's coming off the bench?
Come on, at what spot?
At either guard spot, who's coming off the bench?
It Rozier or Melo, whoever playing the best did at that time. It don't make a difference. The point guard spot to be taken care of by anybody because Melo can go. Melo can go to that point guard. He can start as a point guard spot if he wants to. Rozier can start.
So are you saying that Lonzo is an automatic starter if he traded?
No, Lonzo automatic coming in with the keys, like I said.
But they ain't giving LaMelo the keys, and he's
Listen. Lonzo coming in because he coming in to take the spot of a starter. Look, his question, AB's question was, who's going to replace the starter? Lonzo's the starter. So where you gonna get another starter at? Lonzo's the starter on the team that he plays for. He's not a second streamer. He's a starter. So bring him in.
That's fair.
He's on the last leg of his rookie contract, just like what's his name is, Dante Bebe is. So it don't make too much of a difference. Just the 12 million compared to the 1 point some odd million. That could be easily rectified.
But some people think that LaMelo offensively is better than Zoe. We know Zoe's a great defender.
Man, that's apples and oranges. That's apples and oranges. I'm just saying. When both of them in the back make each other great, they make each other better. The both of them together make themselves better. Hey, DJ, like I asked you before, if not Lonzo, who else?
Well, if not Lonzo, they could do various trades. The Clippers can trade for Terry Rozier. They got some pieces. The Houston Rockets, plenty of teams. But again, when they trade if they trade them, they got to add.
Starter, DJ. I ain't talking about no little rookie coming in off the bench. I know this is
the starters.
New NBA. This is
the new NBA. Okay. Bro. So for the starters,
I ain't talking about no Jack down the street. He might, my neighbor down the street, the Mexican guys might be able to start on that team.
Hey, I bet you. Hey, I bet you. If you say if Lonzo's on there, if Lonzo's on the Hornets, LaMelo's gonna automatically start. If they have to choose one of the two, LaMelo's gonna start.
Well, it doesn't make a difference. Shooting guard, Melo gonna be playing two positions: point guard necessarily all the time, and shooting guard necessarily and all the time. That's how I gonna roll with them because that's how their offense is gonna roll. They want an up-tempo offense. They want an offense like this. Rev. You be saying this. It's called the Chino Hill offense. Fuck that. Damn it, I'm tell you something. These two in the front, them two in the front court can go. Chino Hills ain't got nothing on them. Because matter of fact, Chino Hills didn't have real good players. They was Lonzo and them was throwing the ball off too. Now,
whoa. Hold on. Yeke Congo ain't no hooper.
Big trip.
Hold on now. You tripping now. There's some hoopers in Chino Hills now. Come on now.
Oh man, come on, man. This ain't Chino Hills, man. Come on, man. We talk about North Carolina, man. We started a new thing out there, man. Them boys out there in North Carolina, be jumping out the gym, man.
So, you really think the Hornets are going to give LeVar what he wants? Nah, we will all love to see all brothers play together.
No,
what you say, bro?
I think what they're gonna do is give Charlotte what they need.
Man, it's the same organization that drafted goddamn cricket shot at. What was the boy with the damn shot from the side of his neck?
Michael Gilchrist. Never forget.
Over Bill and Damian Lillard, bro. Like, oh man.
Now you want them to go. Now you want him to go pick up what's the just name that dude you just suggested, Mashburn or whatever his name, not Mashburn, but some other dude
Jamal
just named just a
Mashburn.
minute ago.
Malcolm
No,
Moore.
not Jamal Mashburn. I ain't talking about him. Somebody just suggested that they get another dude a little while ago. I forgot his name.
Moore.
Ben McLemore.
Ben Moore, McLemore. What? Okay, now look, you just got to mention the other brothers, and you just talk about McLemore now. How is their game not similar?
Oh no, I ain't saying on McLemore.
Ben McLemore 6'3" though, Gunk. He got a body though. You can put out there.
Dude, you just got through saying about just a minute ago. He about their game is both of their games is the same. Both of their games the same. The name you just mentioned that was just mentioned a little while ago, both of them McLemore games and his game is the same. And you want to replace him with Lonzo.
We just saying what makes more sense to get him.
Make a trade and make him here instead of Lonzo. I don't think that's smart. You understand me now?
Yo, AB the Hero, do you think that the Hornets would even suggest to get Lonzo?
I think, man, for me, the Hornets right now, if you like looking at what they need, obviously they struggle scoring the ball at times. They bring Melo in and he kind of give a spark. So I could see, and they say they want to play fast. So I could see that. I think he was even before the season started, I think it was Ballfax who said he suggested like a straight up trade between maybe Rozier and Zoe, and which made sense because the Pelicans were struggling they needed a point guard who could score, right? They were pissed at Zoe because he wasn't giving them 10 points a game in the bubble. You know what I mean? He was looking bad. And we know Terry Rozier can put the ball in the bucket. So then you go over here to, and this is before you had Melo join the squad in Charlotte and really got to see what all he could bring to the table as far as facilitating. And so for them, it would have made sense to do that at that point. Now, though, the way that, and it's not based on what I think they should do, but the way that they have been running the front office up to this point, I can't see them doing that because I don't believe that they have enough trust in what Melo and Zoe could bring to the squad. They struggling right now to put the keys in Melo hand. They struggling to even let him crack the starting lineup. So then to bring Zoe in, who is on a roller coaster where he have highs and lows at times, I can't see them bringing him in at this point. I believe it's probably harder for the Pelicans to make that Zoe move and get what they should get out of it. And then it would be harder to make a Rozier trade at this point. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're gonna get from Rozier. Who knows what you're gonna get from Zoe from night to night? So I think he got a very specific use.
AB, man, slow down, bro. Slow down. Like I said before, now I know you really don't get it. Okay, what Zoe been giving you all the time, man? What do he give teams he plays for all the time?
I'm saying that.
He don't never get no team all the time. No.
Go ahead.
I mean, the brother's just saying that sometimes Zoe can be a little inconsistent. Just sometimes.
Come on, man.
Not sometimes. Zoe NBA career has been inconsistent. He have. If you listen, I'm saying though. If you go, people will be like,
stupid question.
And I love Zoe. Okay.
Before you answer that, please, I ask you another stupid question. Look here, who's your top 5 defensive playing point guards and defensive playing point guards in the league? Let's say your top 10. Let me give you your top 10. I ain't gonna say your top 5 because you cheat me. Give me your top 10, brother. You get as fast or slow as you want to.
If I could answer that question for you, but you know what I'm saying, that I need to go to the computer and look at and give you look at a list. I'm saying I
bet you Alonzo be in the top 5.
Hey, who's the top overall point guards in the league, scoring and defense?
got a lot of them. You got, as a matter of fact, you might, and then your next
That's
chapter,
all
you
that
might got,
matters in today's NBA. You got to score any.
you might have two of them over in Houston. Don't be surprised because I'm looking over there. I like them, and then Washington too.
People
I
ain't
like them. I like them. I like them in Houston. I like them over in Washington. I like them.
Yeah.
So I'm recognizing that, but we talking about Charlotte right now, bro. We talking about Charlotte now.
I agree with you. I think Zoe is a defender, but I think that and to your point, the Hornets could use another defensive stopper at that. They need to get better on defense and need to get better at limiting the 3-point shot. And they play that zone, and you got them two long point guards and shooting guards, Melo 6'6", Melo 6'6", 6'7", Zoe 6'6". That's some big bodies to play in that zone up there, so it could happen. I just think that if you do that, you need firepower everywhere else, and they don't got it. They got Gordon Hayward, they got Miles Bridges, and they'll have to run with that. But you take, I mean, you're not PJ, Cody Zeller, Bismack Biyombo. They not athletic enough. They not moving enough to really get the full benefits of a Zoe Lonzo, a Zoe Melo backcourt.
JaVale McGee.
What? JaVale would be a nice addition.
JaVale McGee is over there in Cleveland. He's third string center coming up out of Cleveland. I think Jordan got enough pull to pull his ass over there to Charlotte. What you think? And then plus JaVale McGee played with Zoe anyway, so they already know what's popping with that situation. And he was he was rather successful with that too. Or did I mention that already? Huh?
I think nobody in the chat, nobody on the panel, nobody in the ball community would have a problem with what you're saying if you were the GM of the Charlotte Hornets. But you're not, You're not. It's an old crusty ass dude. Hold on. It's an old crusty ass dude named Mitch Kupchak. They got a guy that just had a triple-double a month ago, and a guy that just came off 27 points on the MVP coming off the bench. They are obviously cognizant of LeVar Ball and not wanting to give LeVar any power. Like, what inside information are we missing? Why do you have all this faith in Michael Jordan? Why? Please let us know. Why do you have this faith that he's going to go and get Lonzo Ball? Please, make it make sense, Please.
Man, look here. It's a business, bro. This whole thing is a business, and this falls on the fans.
He been trying to
whoa. Do you ask a question? Now you want to keep talking. Go ahead.
No, you're right, Go ahead.
Okay, look, it's a business, man. And look here, and it's all gonna fall on the fans. As a matter of fact, not only is it a business, but remember, he also is in the business of doing what? Selling shoes. So he gonna try to keep a lot of people happy. It ain't gonna be hard to keep the people in North Carolina happy by sending those over there. It ain't like he gonna mess up the whole team or the whole chemistry of the team. Why is he gonna do that? Look, and I say right back to AB again. Zoe came about UCLA man after his first year. You understand me? And he came into the NBA, his second round draft pick. You understand me? And a man named Magic Johnson picked him. You understand me? And what's gonna be hard about another man named Michael Jordan to turn around and do the same thing also? I don't get it. And I don't get it. The reason what I don't get is why don't y'all get it?
We get it. We all would love to see that. But from this point, for me, I'm just saying that based on what I seen from the Hornets, they haven't done nothing I thought they should have done. I thought they should be starting Melo already. They ain't did that. You know what I'm saying? I thought Devontae could have been on the bench after game 3. They ain't did that. So I'm just hesitant to say that they would do something that I just believe that they won't. I do think that you said something interesting to me, and the conspiracy theorist in me was thinking like, yo, you said the Jordans sell a lot of shoes. Do we think that Jordan is like, look, they thinking about market share? We put that boy Melo out there in them Pumas. and he go off like he could. Let's hold him back just a little bit so we could get these couple more extra sales. Do you think it's a shoe thing where he could be just trying to play the business game and slow down some of that shine?
Nope. I don't the reason why I don't think it's like that because of the fact they wouldn't have picked him in the first place. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a bad business deal. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, biggest when Michael Jordan first came into the game, when he started picking up people out there in Washington, when we had that team out there, the Bullets in Washington, and he got Kwame Brown. You know that kind of thing like lays on you. You know, even years people ain't never seen Kwame Brown, but always every time somebody talk about him, man, Jordan, Mike Kwame Brown, you know, it's a joke. He's tired of being that joke. You understand me? And if you sit up there and let that boy waste them the next 3 years sitting up, standing up out there stewing on him, that'll be a bad business decision, and it'll be a bad business move. No, tennis shoes ain't gonna get involved in this. Fans. And we'll say, well, bro, there ain't no fans in the stands. That don't mean nothing, bro.
We got DKM in the house,
how these
man.
people's coming at you and your product, right?
Yeah, you gotta get a vibrator, get cable. What's good, Unc? What's good, AB? What's good, Rev? What's good, people?
Hey,
what's good?
Man? Hey, man, we talk about the business. I saw your show today, man. I liked that.
Appreciate it, boss.
Yeah.
Now, what are you saying? What have I missed? I hear there's a little debate going on about Lonzo to Charlotte.
Man,
so pretty much. Oh, sorry about that, Unc.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Look here. It's like this, man. I'm still pushing that old narrative, man, about getting these people out there, man. I don't understand what these people waiting on. And pretty soon, you know what I'm saying, that window to get him out here now is gonna be closed. You understand me? And that bothers me.
Well,
you gotta hit up Jordan, huh?
You said what, baby?
You gotta hit up Jordan, huh? Man, you better take out your phone and call Jordan.
That's what DJ doing right now as we speak, my brother. Look here, I'm gonna tell you something. Look, hey, Rev. Look here, look who you got to your left. You got AB. Look who you got down up under you, man.
That's real.
Man, look who you got little one on the end, man. Man, look who co-hosting this, man. Man, I ain't talking to the choir. I'm talking at the choir, my brother.
Hey, talk spicy, talk spicy. All right. I hear you.
Look here, mess him out and let him just sit there and just rot for the next 3 years if you want to. That's the business. That's what it is. That's all it is. I don't care if you're MJ, OJ, and AJ. Let him just sit there and rock. If you want to. It ain't gonna be pretty.
So DKM, do you think that Lonzo coming to the Hornets would help their dysfunction that they have on their team? Do you think that's going to solve all their problems? We know they need a lengthy shooting guard.
I think
that has good wingspan that can defend. They need a big man who is versatile. What you said, DKM?
Yeah. So sorry, the thing was a little lagged. I thought you stopped speaking, but I think it would be better than what they've got right now. I think LaMelo provides that scoring and is going to be a good enough shooter where you can kind of play him as a kind of combo guard in a sense and allow Lonzo to be the point guard at the same time. But my biggest thing, the question I want to ask is because that is on the cards because Lonzo is a free agent, either unrestricted free agent, I believe, at the end of the season or maybe next season, whatever, and we hear him on the trade block. My biggest thing is I'm not sure if Lonzo would rather play in Charlotte with LaMelo or if he'd rather go to LA and play for either return with the Lakers or maybe even something like the Clippers. That's what I'm thinking about. What's more important to him? Linking up with his brother and with the Charlotte Bobcats or competing with a championship with the team that drafted him with LeBron and AD? Clearly somewhere his heart still is, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Where would he go if he had the choice between those two teams?
I think Lonzo will want to go to a contender. He's seen how playing with the dysfunctional organization does to him. It's not a good thing. And you see what the Hornets, they're not even – you don't even know if he's going to start. There's questions about LaMelo may not even start, even if Terry Rozier may not play. So if they're doing that to LaMelo, who has the ability to attack the basket, to score, to do a lot of things as a point guard, what they gonna do with Zoe?
Bro, DJ, that's interesting what you just said that right there, because obviously I was watching AB show yesterday or whatever, and he made a point basically that like once you put LaMelo in the starting lineup, that's it. He's never going back to the bench. So if Terry Rozier's just got like a day-to-day injury, right? I don't know why I have a feeling that coach, and he's running out of excuses as to why not to start LaMelo. He pulled one of his few good ones out the bag when Ralph challenged him. He was like, how many games did LaMelo play in Australia? 12. Like, he wasn't saying that day one, right? So he's obviously had to, like, you know what I mean, have someone like, oh, here's what you can say, here's how you can justify it. But I seem to think, for whatever reason, that to avoid him having that problem where when Rozier comes back, he's going to have to decide whether to put Rozier back in or bench Graham, I think he's going to put someone like Malik Monk or one of the Martin twins in the starting lineup for Terry Rozier's absence. Because if Rozier's only out for like 4 days, that's a problem that this coach has clearly been avoiding as to who to start between his three guards.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. If I become the GM of Charlotte, then I guess Lonzo gonna be out there. But as of right now, I don't know what the hell gonna happen. I think it could definitely work if you went. It'll be you know, it'll be exciting. It'll be an exciting brand of basketball. So I would love to see it. You asking will he end up going to the Clippers or the Lakers? I feel like whoever he gets traded to, Lonzo's gonna have to make a commitment to sign an extension. So I don't think that'll necessarily happen. And once again, I don't see Charlotte greeting LaMelo with roses and flowers. So I just don't see them throwing a huge bag at Zoe in free agency. I mean, why would they do that? They obviously feel like Melo is better than his brother. So I mean, why would they treat the brother better than they treating him? And then just put more pressure on themselves to have to pick up Jello, which would prove LeVar right, which means they would have to hear LeVar's mouth more. And I don't see any way right now where that happens unless Melo just super duper balls out. Then it happens. But nah, DKM, I think you're right, bro. I think it's gonna end up being the Lakers or the Clippers or whoever he gets traded to. That's a contender that allows him to play more of his style. And I am in agreement with you. I can see Malik Monk starting. But, I mean, I want to know from you guys, what do you think the fallback or the blowback is going to be if LaMelo doesn't start tomorrow coming off that game, especially with him starting the second half? Malik Monk was on fire after the first half, and they still started LaMelo after Terry went down. And for Coach is always talking about his rotations, I think it'll be painfully obvious that something is going on if Melo doesn't start. So what do y'all think the blowback will be from national media and from fans everywhere?
Heck, I know what the blowback will be from new media. We'll be on here going crazy as usual. I can already see all the videos, all the rants. Bro, AB's going to have his little, you know what I'm saying? He'll be standing there with the face cam on, talking his shit. I'll be going crazy behind the mic, and then you guys will be ranting as usual, telling it how it fucking is, bro. Because, like, this will be very telling. Because now he has basically no choice but to put LaMelo in the starting lineup. Realistically, like, there is no choice. So if he finds a way to put some guy that was playing DNPs for half the season over him, that's going to tell you a lot about this coach's ego. And Kendrick Perkins called him out for it. That, like, I respect Kendrick Perkins as an analyst, because although sometimes he talks a load of BS, right? Like, I feel like Perk says things that other reporters or whatever are scared to say. You'd never see someone like a Skip Bayless or someone calling out the coach's ego, because that's exactly what we've been saying all along, that what this comes down to is the coach has an ego about LaMelo not starting. So shout out to Perk for bringing some national attention to what we've been seeing in Charlotte that nobody seems to care about on a mainstream level.
Yeah, man, I think the blowback would be crazy. They already somebody even mentioned it in the chat earlier. It's they starting a hashtag over there, Fire Borrego, start Melo on Twitter. If you go to the Facebook page of the Hornets, all of their social medias is filled up with start Melo and fire Borrego stuff. So from the fans, they're gonna have to start feeling it. And which is gonna be big. It's a catch-22 though, because regardless, all of their numbers and metrics are gonna be up, right? So it's gonna be all negative, but when the social media folks start pointing to it, they're gonna be like, yo, we doing something right. But I just cannot see a world in which James Borrego could have a basketball game without Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham starting and not start Melo in that lineup.
Right.
And like you said, I just can't. I feel like I could see, like, I don't want to, based on his track record, he might try to do some bullshit, but I cannot. But I don't even want to think like that, because I feel like you said the folks in the new media are gonna be on his hindsight. You know what I'm saying? And he probably don't care. But even the real media, I feel like in the stuff that I've seen from like the Charlotte Observer and from their local media papers, everybody's confused at why Melo not even starting with a healthy Rozier and a healthy Devontae Graham. So now you take one of them out. I can guarantee you the first question, the second question that he get asked, third question is going to be like, who's the starting lineup? And if he going to probably do what he did the one time, because folks wanted Melo to potentially get a start when it was Gordon Hayward was out the lineup, and they don't even play the same position. And he got lucky and able to start Cody Martin or one of the Martins. And to your point about Malik Monk has got some DNPs, like you said, half the season, but the Martin twin was getting some DNPs and playing 2 or 3 minutes a game there sometimes, and he went to the starting lineup. You know what I mean? So it's in Borrego to make a stupid call like that, but I'll be trying to give him the benefit of the doubt sometimes and be like, yo, you seem like a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what school you went to, but you got a beard, the way your slacks look like you went to a nice college, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even know how I would feel, you know what I'm saying, if my dog Melo didn't get into that starting lineup versus and if he didn't get in the starting lineup and they had a slow start and lost the game, it'd be even worse.
AP, you silly, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm fully expecting, like, low key, man. I've already read some reports that Malik Monk is starting. I'm just not trying to start a riot tonight.
Yo, what? No, send me them reports, bro.
CBS, man.
Yeah, I've seen it too, man.
Yeah. Me and Rated already on it. Me and Goat already on it. I mean, CBS, man. I mean, I won't be shocked either way. I won't even be outraged, man. Charlotte's a dumpster fire. I'm not, at this point, I really don't even know what else to say about this team. I do want to say this, though, because K. Warren, he texted me a lineup today that was so fire. I said I got to share it with the brothers. He said the starting lineup in a perfect world with a new coach, LaMelo Ball, Malik Monk, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges, and even with Cody Zeller, that really makes Charlotte look so much different. Because there's so many times I look at their lineups, I'm like, man, this shit looks like a glorified G League team. Like they're just so small and they're so undersized. I must say, man, Cody Zeller coming back makes them look respectable. And there were moments last night, DKM and AB. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I was kind of thinking, man, it might be nice to have a LaMelo and Malik Monk backcourt. Like, it looked fire, man.
Yes. Question. Because I was late to the Tay-Bay thing. I started seeing that in the comments, so I realized that was a nickname. I was late to that. But are you calling him Malik Monk on purpose to like be funny, or because I thought his name was Malik Monk?
Jizzle to Adab in Arabic, in Arabic, there's no Malik. That's something we
Okay.
Yeah, we hoodified it, so it's Malik.
All right. That's what I'm saying. I thought that's what it was, and folks was like Tay-Bay, and I was like, man, what's going on? So I thought maybe I missed the Malik, but all right, I got you. I'm with it.
Yeah, the Tay-Bay name came from pretty much saying that Devontae Graham is Coach James Borrego's boo thing. He give Devontae all the minutes, all the touches, everything. So that's why we call him Tay-Bay.
Yeah, I got you. I
I'll
was
tell,
seeing
I'll,
folks. Yeah,
I'll tell you what though, AB and DKM and DJ, if he don't start, man, I'm gonna be all on y'all channels, man, because I know it's going down, bro. Like you right, AB. This will be such a train wreck, and I feel like he does care about new media because I see every time Raphael or Danny be asking him questions, he be in there like, oh, LaMelo's not gonna start because. So yeah, I know he's feeling the pressure. So I'm gonna be very interested to check you guys' channels out and to be on the cookout tomorrow night if he doesn't start.
Let me read this from the GOAT. He said, DJ, I feel like Rozier is going to try his absolute best to play them all. He don't want to make sure he loses his spot and make sure LaMelo doesn't start. It's not even just that. Even if, and I said this earlier in the show, even if Rozier cannot play them all, and let's say LaMelo starts and he comes back, I still think Rozier should start with LaMelo, no matter what. I think it's just all an excuse to keep LaMelo on the bench and politic around. LaMelo should be starting right now. I don't care who says otherwise. LaMelo has earned the stripes. What do the Hornets got to play for? What, the 9th seed, 10th seed? Start LaMelo.
The coach has already come out and confessed that the team plays better when Melo plays better, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching DKM's video today. He was talking about every time Borrego speaks, it's like a contradiction. Once again, I want to know who's in charge of the PR department. I want to know because it's just so raggedy. Is this what goes on with raggedy teams in the league? Like, or is it this bad because it's a coronavirus year? Because like I look at some of the stuff that goes on within our organization, I say, yo, this can't be standard. You know what I mean? It can't be this bad. So tomorrow, with CBS already starting to say Malik Monk, it makes me wonder, have the Charlotte Hornets already notified some media outlets that he's going to be the starter?
Bro, I need to find these CBS articles, bro, because I want to make my video in advance. I want to make because they dropped that little screenshot of the starting lineup 5 minutes before the game, bro. I need that video ready because, bro, nah, Malik hook sniffing Monk. Like, listen, I like, you know what I mean? I like Malik Monk, and you know what you said, bro? Like, I was actually thinking to myself when I saw Malik Monk, I was like, bro, this coach has. It's like he picks the whole wrong players. Like what you said, right? Because the problem with the Charlotte Hornets, right, is besides Melo and Gordon Hayward, everyone, and maybe Terry Rozier, everyone else on the team is about at the same level as each other, right? They're all about the C plus, B minus level basketball players. So guys like, there's not much in it between a Cody Zell and a Bismack Biyombo. Like, you know what I mean? There's not much in it between a Devontae Graham and a Malik Monk. There's not much in it between a PJ Washington and like a Jalen McDaniels or a Vernon Carey and a Nick Richards. So you've just got a bunch of players that are about as good as each other. And it's like instead of playing Malik Monk, you play two Martin twins. Instead of playing Vernon Carey, it's like you've got these Bismack Biyombo and Cody Zeller. Like you've got a nice young center out of Duke who you managed to steal in the second round. Someone who was ranked the third best player in the nation just a year ago, and he can't even get on the court. You sent Jalen McDaniels down to the G League when you've got the Martin twins. Like it's just a coach's team. Like I wouldn't pick nearly the same guys that he does. And don't get me started on who built the roster, bro. Don't get me started on who built the roster. Oh my god. Oh, you're not even lying, bro.
DKM, check your Twitter DMs, bro. I got some great news for you, player.
Okay, let me read this out. Let me read this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna share my screen and read it out. Hold on. Let me see. Don't turn it on right yet. I want to read it out for the people. Chat, do you see this? TJ, can you turn on my screen for real quick? Rozier sprained his ankle last night during Saturday's win over the Bucks, putting his status for Monday's contest in jeopardy. If Rozier is forced to miss the first game of the season, Malik Monk could see a start. How is LaMelo's name not mentioned there somewhere?
And they're not pulling it out their ass, bro. That's not how they do it.
My God, man.
DJ, what you think about this, man?
They're setting the stones, man. I know how media works. So the Hornets already know that the new age media, they know things, and they're the wave of the fans, pretty much. So what they're doing is going to other media outlets and telling them who's going to start. They're going to ask them, and they said, "Well, we're not going to release it, but such and such is going to start."
Yep.
On my show yesterday, I warned everyone. I said, do not be surprised if LaMelo does not start. See, they threw you a bone today by posting those stats like the brother Sweatbox said. They threw you a bone posting the stats about the Magic 25 number. He plays 25 minutes, and all the fans was getting happy, and they're like, they finally get it. The Hornets finally get it. Bull crap. They wanted to ease the tension of the fan base. So tomorrow, if LaMelo starts tomorrow, it'll be a miracle. I'll say it like that. But what I've been seeing, man, I'm telling you, the fans are going to be pissed. It doesn't matter if they win the game or not. They're going to be pissed. Because you see Anthony Edwards getting starters minutes. And if he keeps getting those minutes, which it looks like he's going to do that, he could win Rookie of the Year easily. So they're taking away LaMelo's chance of winning Rookie of the Year. And that's just the biggest disrespect. And there's people telling us, calling us fans, saying that, well, you don't know if LaMelo's going to leave in his 4-year contract. Well, LaMelo's not your average rookie, like AB the Hero always say. He got $100 million in the bank. He got more money in endorsements than average rookies. I mean, you talking about a young brother that had a Lamborghini at 16 years old. So he got money in the bank. But they keep playing around with LaMelo, man. He's going to remember it.
So DJ, hit the screen one more time because this is going to be telling right here. Right. So here we've got a wheel. This is what it comes down to chance. 50-50. I'm going to spin this wheel. On one side you got Malik Monk, the other side you got LaMelo Ball, and whoever this lands on to push my narrative is going to start tomorrow's game. Who we got? Who you rolling with, blue or red?
Malik Monk, probably.
Oh, he stole it! He stole it at the
I
end.
hope that happens. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope I'm wrong, DK. I hope we're all wrong about this.
The fact that we're even having this conversation and skeptical about this, it's like, bro, if I'm trying to think of someone who's got a stat, like if one of the Clippers guards went down, you know Lou Williams would be put in the starting lineup. If you know what I mean, like if for the OKC Thunder back in 2011, Russell Westbrook got injured, you would have put James Harden automatically. You wouldn't think twice. So now, I guess it's kind of in a sense like if they were to put like a Tabo Cephalosha in instead of a young James Harden as the sixth man. So yeah, I mean it's sticky, but hopefully we can see our boys start tomorrow because it's about damn time.
And DKM, I gotta say this about Malik Monk. There's nothing against Malik Monk. Malik Monk balled out last night, and if he starts, good for him. But this is on the coach, James Borrego. James Borrego is toying around with fan bases, and he's getting away with it because there's not fans in the stands. So it tells you what type of coach he is. But, man, this team is backwards, man. If you got somebody like LaMelo Ball, most teams will let him rock it out.
Yeah, this should be Borrego's most chill, relaxed night of sleep ever. Like he ain't got. It's a no brainer tomorrow should be for him. Like he should have had the lineup already out and tweeted. You know what I mean? Ain't no last minute decisions. If Rozier can't play, I already know who I'm putting in there. It's legit. The minutes I got Monk coming off 6-man with Miles Bridges finna be crazy. And he probably tossing and turning right now, trying to figure this thing out. He literally probably will give the social media folks to tweet that picture out, the lineup 2 minutes before it go up type of thing, and he wasting a whole day of relaxation, man. He could have spent most of the day with a little massage, not even thinking about basketball because they in a position to win, and he probably gonna be watching film all day tomorrow and crafting responses to the media. And you know what? Something like Red was saying is what I believe is because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't never watched a Hornets game since like Larry Johnson was playing. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch more Hornets basketball this year than I have in the last like probably 20 years. And like most squads is I don't nobody watches these teams who are, you know what I mean, 12 seeds. You know, nobody watches the press conference. We don't care what the coach talking about, y'all losing. And for some reason you're in the 12th seed because you keep making bad decisions that get you put there, right? But it's like now all of a sudden this Charlotte team who was terrible last year, didn't even make it to the bubble. Now we all checking them out. And we get to see why teams like this always are in the back of the standings. Is because they make these easy decisions hard. And they start doing stuff like, you know, I mean, trying to trust the process, and then you be losing for 4, 5, 6 years. And you done lost so much that now you got your all-star players and they don't even know how to win because they so used to losing. They don't know how to close games out. They don't know how to do all of these different things. And you get to do that most of the time because you don't have a LaMelo Ball who's drawing attention. You don't have a new media group. Like really your favorite team end up being the Lakers and you from from Charlotte. So your boy Borrego, man, he finna fumble the bag tomorrow. I hope he don't. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm saying he finna make the best decision of his life tomorrow. His wife gonna hook him up after the game, and he gonna have a good night tomorrow, man. I feel it.
Put it in the air, AB. Put it in the air, man. Because I'm definitely, as we speak, about to smoke up on this Borrego pack. So I mean, you put up all the positive vibes, bro. I hope you're right, man. Like, well, it's to the point, man. Like sometimes when shit is so tragic, it just gets comical. And at this point, it's comical, man. Like it's just like if they did it, would any of us be surprised they did it? Like if Malik Monk starts off of 13 straight DMPs and 2 good games, would anyone really be shocked? That's what, like DKM said, that's what makes this so sad. I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised if it happens, you know what I mean? And I'll just continue to look at LaMelo's development and wish the best for him, man. But nothing Charlotte does at this point surprises me. I did just see some interesting information about a trade for Devontae Graham to the Dallas Mavericks. But like I just said, they don't want
What? Keep this cut, bro. This is music to my ears, bro.
Yeah, it's a rumor. It's a rumor. But, you know, a few verified accounts are talking about it. But it would have to be a package, just like I said. So that's some good news for tonight. I'll send that to you, DKM. I'll send that to you, DJ. And AB, if you want it, I'll send it to you as well. That's interesting to hear. That's very interesting to hear. So that's some good news. But this Malik Monk thing starting tomorrow, man, that is a damn dumpster fire.
That's pretty much trolling. And boy, this team is this is the oddest team in NBA this year. A weird team, man. Winning games that they shouldn't win, lose games that they shouldn't lose to, not playing LaMelo that much. Boy, this is a full-on circus. But we got to watch it, and only because LaMelo's playing for that team. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to everybody in the channel. Shout out to AB the Hero for joining the panel. Shout out to DK. Rev
Bro,
holding it down, Uncle Vern, and just
let me say one thing, bro, before you shut it down.
Mhm.
Bro, I was just thinking this. You know how dumb Borrego would look if you got a dude on your bench who you done gave all these DMPs, had 2 good games, then you move him to the starting lineup and he's hooping, and y'all been losing, and you got a dude on the bench who is hooping. You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden he a starter on your squad. Like, what are you doing? So I think he got to realize that too. He could start Malik Monk, but he looked almost dumber starting Malik Monk and him having a great game than he would benching LaMelo. You know what I'm saying? Like both of those decisions for him is just it's silly, man. It's stressing me out right now. My head hurting. Yeah, I out of bed, man.
Oh man,
Real quick. Who on the Mavs? Like, what kind of package deal do you think? Like, do you think the Mavs would give up in return for a Devontae Blue Cheese, a Tebe? You know what I'm saying? Like, who?
It depends who they package, and I'm getting this information from our brother K Warren. I'm on his Twitter page, and he had an article. It was some news from a verified, I guess, somebody who covers the Dallas Mavericks because they've been losing. But now the package will be coming from Charlotte. So the question is what you essentially asked a while ago. PJ Washington, Miles Bridges is going to be one of those guys. AB says that Miles Bridges should be untouchable. In real life, he should be. In Charlotte, I don't think he is, because you wouldn't pay a guy $120 million at his same position and move him from being a starter last year back to the bench in his 3rd year. So, I mean, I think this Melo and Bridges connection has made him more valuable, but a real starter is going to have to go with Devontae. Ain't nobody sending a real starter to Charlotte for Devontae. So I'll send you the information when we get off here, bro.
Whoa. Bro. So are we talking about perhaps Miles Bridges and Devontae Graham for a JJ Barea like type thing?
JJ Barea is overseas in Spain.
Nah, I think it'll probably be somebody like on the Mavs. You probably people pretty up in arms about Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. And
Tim Hardaway Jr. in a backcourt with Melo. Oh yes, I would do that.
Yeah, it'll be somebody like that. It would have to be for it to make sense.
Well, PJ Washington and Devontae Graham for Tim Hardaway Jr. and a 2nd round pick or something. I'd take that. I'd take that in a heartbeat. What if it's just like, does Devontae's contract expire at the end of the season? I think it does.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to get an asset in return from maybe like a pick, like a 2nd round pick.
But see, the problem with that, and I know you're trying to wrap up, DJ. My bad, bro.
It's all good.
The problem with that is if you do it that way, DKM, and you're trying to get rid of Rozier and you're unsure about Monk, if you don't get a starter back for Graham, like Unc Vern was saying, who the hell gonna start at the 2?
Malik Monk. Do you know what? There's one quick thing. Before I want to say one thing real quick. I actually have just had a second thought about this, and as crazy as it does sound, if Malik Monk is playing well right now, I'm going to give FYF just some FYF Sports Debates Lamont some sign of pull here because he kind of put me onto this. And I don't think this is what the Charlotte Hornets are thinking. But if deep down, Mitch Kupchak and James Borrego, which I doubt, know LaMelo is their guy, and they're trying to hype up these other guys for trade value, it would kind of make sense in a small sense if you could get Malik Monk playing well, so you could get something for him because you're doing his trade value absolutely no favors by playing him DMPs. So if he has like a 20-point game and there's some sort of value there, maybe the Knicks bite or something like that, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I don't think the Charlotte Hornets are thinking like that.
This will be something to see, man. I told everybody last week, man, these couple of weeks is going to tell me a lot. Probably tomorrow's game, really. But a week or two is really going to tell me a lot about this Hornets team, the schedule they have. If they don't clean this up, man, it's going to be a long road. But we'll see what happens. All love to everyone in the chat representing New Media. And we're going to leave off playing Unc's theme song.
Let me tell you something. Back in my day, Let me show you.